Hi guys. So today we're doing the video for the power numbers. So previous videos we've done the 3, 6 and 9, which are the nurturers, the caregivers. They're the ones what we did first, and then we did number 2, number 4 and number 8, and then I did 1, 5 and 7, and this is the final one now, the power numbers. So if you have a number 11, 22 or 33 in your top core numbers in your numerological chart, so this could be either your life path, your expression number, your soul urge, or your day of birth. So them 4 numbers are the top 4. Not that the others don't matter, because they do, but them ones, if these are, you might have all of these numbers as your top numbers, or you might have one of them, but whatever, if you do have them, even if you don't have them, maybe you're watching this to see maybe someone you're interested in who is this life path number or soul number, and you want to see what negatives or positives that they have about them. So we're going to start off with number 11, yeah? Power number 11. So number 11 is, we've got the yin and the yang within the number. So also the number 33 has this, whereas the number 22 is only even numbers. Even when you do the 22 and the 2 within the 4, it's just even. 11 and 33 are both even and odd, yeah? So with the 11, you've got the number 1, the masculine energy, the go-getter, the one that wants to get to the top, the one who, you don't think about things, who just steams right ahead and just goes right into it and don't think about consequences. And then you've got the number 2, which is the negotiator, the peacemaker, the feminine energy, the one that kind of weighs everything up before going into it. So it's like the battle of this go-getter and this person who's like, no, hang on, we need to think about this. So this is this battle in the mind for 11s, which I think, because I know I have a lot of 11s around me, so I really understand 11 people, plus my son's an 11. He's 11 as well, life path and soul, so he's got 2 of them, which since he's understood himself more, he's more balanced now. It's unreal, the difference in him. But now I understand why things happened and how he reacted in these scenarios. So for instance, with number 11 people, you can give them you can give 10 you can do 9 good compliments to them, and the 1 negative compliment, that one will just overtake in their mind, and the rest of them will just go out the window. They forget about the good things what was said. That one, that will be dwelled on and repeated in that mind. It's like having that the angel and the devil on either side. That's how I see it. It's like, oh, don't want to do that, you want to do this. So number 11 people do tend to have a lot of lessons to learn in this lifetime, and I see it's always the same. The more I get to know them, because everybody, like, people don't really listen to me sometimes with the number situations. They think it's like just a number, but I'll tell you what, everyone's so in sync with each other. So when I meet 11s now, I can guarantee that I know exactly what they've done, what they've been through, what they're feeling, and they're just like, oh. They don't understand it at all, because that's another thing. Because with the 1 as well, number 1 like to be right, and that's the biggest lesson for ones to realise, that they're not always right, and they need to take accountability and accept when they're not right, and let other people be right. But they don't like to accept that. That's quite a hard one for them. And with the double 1, the double impact, you can imagine. So when I say certain things like about these numbers, they just look at me like, sometimes they're just like, okay, yeah. They just fob me off, like, literally. But when someone's balanced, they're 11. Oh, number 11s are drawn to me for a reason, because I help 11s. That's part of my number. My number is helping 11 people. I'm not sure exactly why, but that's just a message I got a few years back in meditation, and then I've had it coming up recently, in readings and stuff like that, about 11 being significant in my life. But yeah, so we're going to start with the positive traits for number 11 people. So they inspire people. They're very spiritual, once a balance. They're very psychic. They are very intuitive. Their intuition is literally like an antenna. So what they say with these 11s is once they start to do their work in this kind of situation, they are so connected to the divine and to source. Once they align into that, into doing the spiritual practices in the work, healing themselves, they'll be shocked themselves how connected that they actually are. So with the gifts as well, they can get a lot of dreams. So basically they've got all the psychic abilities. It's just whether you are aligned and aware of your gifts or not, whether you're taking time to go within and see your gifts or unlock your gifts or level up with your gifts. But yeah, you'll be getting a lot of dreams with a lot of messages, which you could do with writing a dream journal to piece everything together, because I think that's where I've spoken to a few people and they've kind of synced things together through the dreams. Some of them are a lot of premonitions. They have a lot of, you get a lot of vision. You've just, your intuition, that gut feeling of just knowing, because you are an old soul. You've been here before. There's an inner knowing of there's something, and the more you tap it, like, you start to speak more freely, and people be like, how do you know that? And it's number 11s always say, I don't know, just do. Like, they don't know the answer to it, but they just know these things. They're a very powerful manifestor, because number 1 people are the biggest and most powerfulest people who speak out loud. That's what I see. So number 1 people I don't think they actually know this, but number 1 people, their words are more powerful than anybody else's with that number 1 life path. I don't think a lot of them even know this, but maybe they think they're lucky, or they just get away with things, or they just fluke life, but it's not. It's about your words. So with number 1 people, I noticed that a lot of ones, they're so positive when they speak. They'll speak like, oh, I'm getting this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So say for instance, she was up in court for a situation, and it weren't looking good. I've noticed that these number 1s will say before they go in, well, when I get off with it, blah, blah, and I'm like, how would you know that? Like, they don't have a doubt about that, so it's the wording, and they literally get away with it. So number 1 people usually buy houses, become top of the ladder, make the money. Things come to them more frequently, more faster. They manifest so much easier, and with the double 1, so the manifestation, as soon as you're aligned into that, and you're aware of these gifts, you start manifesting the life that you desire and you want. Basically, we are our own creators of our reality, and the sooner people realize that, the better. So when this 11 is not balanced and you've got this negative thinking, that's how you bring it in, guys. So the more aware you become and realize that your own words and your own mental words, just because no one can hear it out loud and it's in there, doesn't mean that the universe doesn't know, because it does. So you are also, so you've got a great calling, a higher calling. You just know there's something inside you what's pulling you into a certain direction, whether it's to do with life coaching, guided meditation, sound healing. You just know there's something. It's a higher calling, just an inner knowing that you're here for a greater purpose, and there's something else that you've got to do, whether you feel fulfilled with your career or whatever like that. There's an inner knowing that there's something else that you're here to do. But we all wake up at different times, so don't think, because people think, oh, I woke up too late. I did that. I thought I woke up too late, literally. and I was acting erratic. I was self-educating. I was watching documentaries. I was researching, doing psychology. I was writing. I was doing my own lessons online. I've done the blueprints, the bloody gene keys. I've realised now, I was always meant to wake up at that point. I just thought I woke up too late, so I was like distressed, thinking that I had to catch up to everybody else who'd been on this journey for years. But that's not the situation. We all do it when we're meant to do it. And it's like a light system, which I see with the numbers. So you'll see a group of, I don't know, maybe all these number 6s will get activated at one time, which will, light bulb will come on. To balance the planet and the universe, everything has to happen in different frequencies, different times. Also, we've got these people, number 11s are very mystic. So they can be tarot readers, mediumships, you know, speaking to the spirit realm. Yeah, they could be doing that, you know, they could be channeling. They could be an actual channel for spirit to speak to through, or they could be a channel for maybe other planets, you know, to come through, you know, anything along them lines. Number 11 people are very driven, you know, because like say you got that double one energy, so that driven and that the go-getters is heightened even more. So they are full steam. You don't really see them sit down much. That's another thing. They're always on the go. They're always doing something. They like to keep themselves busy. They like to play a part in a lot of things. They like to help people when they can. They like to lead. They're very good at leading. They're very good at speaking. Usually they do become public speakers. A lot of them become famous because they're that well spoken and they don't hold back into not going doing that. They also as well, they're not afraid to go and be that person and not care what other people think, you know, whereas some numbers, like my number for instance, we've been too critical on ourselves and think that, you know, we're being judged all the time, but really it was me judging myself. Number 11 seem to don't even have that. They don't even think about what others are going to think. They just do it anyway. Do you know, who cares if anyone's saying anything, which I like that. That is what I need more of. So, yeah, so they're very accepting. They're very, very accepting. They're like, as well, they're like chameleons. That's how I'd see them. They can just adapt, or whatever scenario, whatever person they're talking to, they can just adapt into that situation and speak with that person as if they're on that level. They're just so like a chameleon. I can't even describe how much they are, and they're constantly renewing, they're constantly creating, they're constantly seeking, wanting to try new things, wanting to learn new things. They're very good at counselling as well. They're very good counsellors because they're very good at listening, but they're very good at giving advice as well because they're intuitive, that knowing. They're not sure why, they know, but they just do. People are drawn to number 11 people as well for the aura. People, usually, it's like the 3, 6 and the 9, them numbers where people just come over and they just open up about everything, and it's like, I'm 6 and 9, so I'm like, I'm so used to it now, and people will be like, I don't know why I'm saying this, and I'm like, I do, it's fine, because I'm not judging them whatsoever. But 11s also have that presence. So people sometimes who are a low vibration maybe, or not as much energy as this number 11, this is why they do have to protect themselves at all times, especially when they're out and about. And I think the more they do the work, they can block anything out from coming in their aura. You know, they just put a shield up. But people can drain their energy quite a lot. And if you're not aware of this and you're not shielding your aura and your energy, that's when they can get very depleted, and they can take on so many other people's energies as well when it comes to negativity. But people are drawn to them because once they're in the presence of the number 11, people say that if they had anxiety or the worrying and stuff, they just feel so relaxed and at peace. So people are just so naturally drawn to them because they just get healed from being in the presence, just being around them. They're healed. That's how amazing it is. So, negatives, guys. So negatives for number 11 is extreme anxiety, extreme stress. Have you noticed that it's extreme, not just stress or anxiety, it's extreme, because it's the double energy of the two numbers. So whatever it is, it's heightened. Too independent, where they become more like the number 1, where they don't want to take advice or listen to anybody from outside of themselves, which that's great, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't seek out of ourselves for anything. I've learned that whatever you need to know in life, go within. You are your own guide. You are connected to your higher self and your all aspects of you. You know, you are your own compass in life. So totally get that. But I think when they become too independent, they're not doing things for the greater good, you know, which they normally would do. They can get a lot of illnesses, physical illnesses, mental illnesses. They can become, very mentally, they can have a lot of mental imprisonment. You know, they can become so negative and so self-sabotaging on themselves. They can become very oversensitive. Like, say, when I was saying about this, the 9 good compliments, and then the 1 negative, that's when you're not balanced and you're on the negative side of your 11. You're oversensitive and you don't even listen to the good things. You just take on all the bad things and all the negative stuff. You just over worry. You just can't see, or you can't visualize your future, because it's just so clouded and just filled with so much negative and bad, like over analyzing, worrying. You know, you become paralyzed into knowing where to go and what to do, whereas number 11s know what to do and where to go. So the ego takes over, because number 1 people, that's their biggest lesson in life, is the ego. The ego death is huge when it comes to it. So you can imagine with the 11, because number 11 is representing, it's not about just being on your own with the number 1. Number 1 is yourself. When you're in the 11, when you've got this as your number, you're not supposed to do things alone. You're supposed to do things with others. It's all about you and others, you and everyone, you and others getting to the top. Whereas the 1 is more about getting yourself to the top no matter what. You know, now that's good as well, you know, but as long as you're doing it out of the greater good, and you're not doing anything bad along the way, which could manipulate situations to get to that point, then, you know, huge lessons. So jobs and careers for these number 11 people would be what are they called now? A psychotherapist, is it? So a counsellor, somebody who's, like a shrink, you know, somebody who's going to help somebody move past certain things. Because remember, if they've gone through so many certain things in life, when they get to this point, they're that in tuned and learnt lessons and probably done everything that they can help others now. Do you know, they could become life coaches, directing people who may be stuck in situations maybe where they used to be, because they do go through a lot of tower moments, number 11s. That's another thing, because the 1 as well is associated with addiction. 1 and 5 are, to me, addictive personalities. Now, I have both numbers in my chart, so I'm not like, don't be like getting all upset and stuff because of what I'm saying, because it's not always a bad thing, because it's an addictive number. Because an addictive personality is good sometimes, especially when you are addicted to working and getting your business going. You know, it's only bad when it's in other areas, but 1 and 5 are both change as well, but they are addictive. Addiction comes with them numbers quite a lot. So usually they have to go through various different addictions throughout life, whether it's addicted to money, success, addicted to being number 1, addicted to drugs, alcohol, addicted to food, all these different things. And usually 11s do go through, the majority of them, to get the lessons and to understand who they are at a deeper level. A lot of them can go to the point of losing everything in life and having to start again. A lot do have to do that. I've noticed that with a lot of them. They have to go to the bottom to be able to rise again, like the phoenix. That's how I see it, and that's how a lot of them see it now. Now, when you're in that situation, you're not going to see it that way. But once you get past that, you understand nothing's against you. The universe isn't against you, it's for you. So whatever is happening in your life at that point, it's for a better version of you to come, and for you to realise, because it don't want bad things for you, you know. So once that mindset shifts into that, because whatever you was doing, you weren't meant to be doing, you know, you were. So sometimes that has to happen just to remove you for a better thing to come. Also, number 11 people are so artistic. They are musicians, they are singers, they play instruments, they may be movie producers, they may be actors. Number 11 people, I'll tell you what, if they do anything to do with artistic, anything to do in that, if it's poetry, painting, or even sports, if they become a boxer, a footballer, rugby player, tennis player, I don't know. If you do anything artistic in that kind of genre, they will become famous. And that is that there's just so many different people in life with that number who has become famous. And usually, like I said, it's not always the first path that they took. They've got to go through many failures before it gets to that point. My son's a DJ, you know, he's a number 11, he's a DJ, he's a singer, he writes his own music, he plays every instrument he picks up, and he just knows how to do it, you know, dead laid back. But he activated his number 11 at 11 years old, so I think that's when this massive download of, he was always into music, he's DJ since he was like 7, but now it's just took off, where he DJs every month at festival, at the spiritual festival, which we're going to this weekend, which I'm well needed. Yeah, so also they could become, sorry, I went right off track there, sorry. But yeah, so they can become Reiki masters, quantum healers, numerologists, astrologists, anything like that. They become an influencer, they become somebody in the public eye who maybe do them kind of talks when you go to seminars and stuff like that. Somebody who's going to talk about stuff what probably nobody wants to talk about, you know, and people are going to listen because people are drawn to the 11. And also there's a lot of inventors what come from the 11 people as well. A lot of inventors, because they just have this light bulb of something that they need to create, because it's creative again, isn't it? So also as well, they can become politicians and somebody in that in the justice system as well, because stand up for the rights, and because that inner knowing, that intuitive, they need to help kind of thing, and they want to give back. They just want to help people. They just want to help, whether it's through music, through art, through, you know, the justice system. But them are some of the jobs, guys, what are perfect for 11s. So if you are doing one of these jobs, then you're on the right path. But if you're not, guys, I would, I'm not saying quit your job and go and do this, but your soul will be pulling you and telling you that it needs this, you know. Because if you're not doing what we're here to do, that's when these tower moments happen, and it'll be taken away from you because you're not meant to be doing it. So if you know this deep down, your soul, do it before it gets to that point, so it's easier. Go with the flow of life, go with the water, ebb and flow, go with the cycles. So this is for 11. I'm going to do my next video for number 22. Lots of love, guys. Bye for now.